I'm Natasha Lubczenko with your CT Style Express. So most of us have New Year's resolutions, right? You know, the common ones like working out more, drinking more water. Well, what about getting more protein into your diet? New England Dairy registered dietitian Heidi Harkopf is here to tell us why this is a great goal to have and how we can achieve it. Hey Heidi, thank you for joining us.
How are you?
Great. So why is protein important to a healthy diet? And in your observations, are people getting enough of it at every meal?
So protein is important because, as we know, our muscle mass is made up of protein. So as we age, it gets more and more challenging to maintain your muscle mass, but we know that's important for good balance, for strength, for movement throughout the day. So whether or not you're an athlete trying to build muscle or you're an average person just trying to keep the muscle that you have throughout your life, protein is really important. But what's interesting is that many Americans do achieve what we would call the recommended amount of protein. But research is starting to show that that recommended amount is perhaps on the low side, and emerging research is indicating that we might need more. However, most of us get most of our protein at dinner times. Think about dinner, right? Traditionally, it's been a piece of meat, some vegetables, some carbohydrate. But what the research is also showing is that it's better if we would spread our protein throughout the day, that our muscles will make better use of that broken up at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But breakfast is the really hard place to get the proper amount of protein.
Okay, so breakfast, we want to start nice and early. And you say that actually it's a little difficult, but a great way to get that protein in is through dairy, right?
Right. So the goal for each of your meals is at least 20 grams, if not up to 30 grams for each meal. So let me show you what a traditional breakfast might look like. Here I have a piece of toast and some jam and a cup of coffee. This would have anywhere between 3 to 4 grams of protein. So really far short of that goal of 20 grams. But I'm going to show you some quick hacks to get your protein up to 20 grams without cooking up a storm in your kitchen in the morning, because we know how busy mornings can be, whether you're working at home or you're working outside the home. So let's take that toast, and what I'm going to do is top it with each slice with a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese is making quite the comeback. This cottage cheese on the toast, topped with a little bit of fruit, because you want to be sure you always include produce at each of your meals, and a few nuts, is 20 grams of protein.
And that's so easy to do also. And how much protein is in cottage cheese? Do you think a lot of people don't realize that it's really a protein-rich food?
A lot of people don't realize that. I think it has, we remember back a couple decades ago, it was considered the diet food, but it's making a comeback because 3/4 of a cup of cottage cheese actually has almost 20 grams of protein. So that's a huge amount of protein to simply add in your morning. Of course, if you enjoy it, just a bowl of cottage cheese, you can make it savory with cucumbers or tomatoes, or you can add fruit if you like it on the sweet side. But I want to show you too, so a really popular breakfast would be cereal, and cereal's understated. You can really get to your 20 grams very quickly. However, what you top your cereal with is what matters. So if you enjoy an almond beverage, that doesn't have any protein in it. So adding that to your cereal, here I would have a bowl of cereal with about 3 to 5 grams of protein, but adding a plant-based beverage would still bring me far short. Oat might be a little bit higher, but still very low. So if we simply add real milk to it, a cup of milk has 8 grams of protein. And I would then bring an egg into the picture, which has about 6 grams. And an egg in that simple bowl of cereal has brought me up to 20 grams of protein with the milk that I have on top of that. So a really simple change without cooking a whole new recipe at breakfast time.
Absolutely. So it's really just something you have to be a little conscious of, but it's easy to get this protein in when you make that conscious decision to do so, right?
Absolutely, just a little bit of planning. So this is kind of a fun thing that's come onto the scene a couple of years ago, is chia pudding. Have you ever tried that?
I have not tried it, no.
So here are 4 tablespoons of chia seeds. Now, chia seeds are a protein-rich seed. Each tablespoon has about 2 grams. So the 4 tablespoons I put in here have already brought me up to 8 grams. However, a lot of recipes you'll find on the internet, again, will put like almond beverage in it or an oat beverage, which will just keep it at the low side. But if you mix in a cup of milk with these 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, and a few nuts, it brings you up to the 20 grams again. Put this together the night before, and in the morning, you can grab and run.
Heidi, wonderful. You're giving people at home such a great way to start the new year off strong with all of this protein. And this is actually a great way by adding dairy into our diets to support our local dairy farmers, right?
That's right. You know, we have almost 90 dairy farmers in the state of Connecticut, and it's what really adds to the beauty of the state. And if you want to learn more about our dairy farmers and if you'd like to visit them, you can go to ctdairy.org and find out more about the dairy farmers that support the economy and the beauty of our beautiful state of Connecticut.
Thank you, Heidi, so much. These are great ideas to kick off the new year. Again, if you guys at home would like to learn more, visit newenglanddairy.com. For CT Style, I'm Natasha Lubczenko.